Stories with unexpected twists and turns seem to be all the rage these days. But what about a story where even the writers don't know what's coming? Welcome to The Story Symphony, the collaborative fiction podcast where each chapter of the story is written by an entirely different person. You, the listener, won't have any idea what to expect next. And neither will we, the writers. So strap in and let's see where The Story Symphony will take us today. You're listening to Chapter 2, Static, by Lian Meacco. And here we go.
Melbourne Airport is ablaze. Thousands of panicking people are charging in all directions, trying to get away from the mayhem. And here I am, staring at a girl in a red coat standing unfazed in the middle of it all. A girl who died 3 weeks ago. Laura? I began slowly moving in her direction, hurting all over, particularly my head. For all I know, I could be hallucinating. After all, I did just get blown out of a building, but there was only one way to find out. As I crossed the road to where Laura was standing, our eyes met. A strange look came over her face. She looked away, then looked back towards me with a puzzled expression. Laura?
You can see me.
What?
And you can hear me too?
Yeah? Laura reached out and touched my arm, then recoiled as if she just touched something scaldingly hot. She reached out again, this time grabbing hold of my arm. Her eyes widened with shock.
Oh my god! I can touch you! Wait, how do you know my name?
My girlfriend, Vanessa? She knew you from when you were both kids. She had to clean out your room because I realized what I was saying as I was saying it. You're dead. How are you here?
You tell me. I was just driving home the day the rain started, and as I was crossing through an intersection, a huge truck came out of nowhere. When I came to, I was sitting upside down in my car watching my own body getting dragged away, like those out-of-body experiences they always talk about.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, she didn't seem crazy, but she was also talking essentially about being a ghost while tightly gripping my arm.
So you know Vanessa?
She's my girlfriend. We cleaned out your room together the other day because you, died?
Sounds about right. So you must be Kyle.
I am.
So where's Vanessa now?
Shit. I had been so fixated on finding out if Laura was really Laura, I'd forgotten where we were and what was happening. Adrenaline kicked in. She's still inside. I start running back towards the airport. I turn around to see if Laura is still with me, and that's when I see her run straight through a crowd of people. What the...
Yep. Do you believe me now?
What are you? A ghost?
Something like that.
But then how can I touch you? You know what? There's no time. We have to find Vanessa. The air inside the airport is thick with dust and smoke, but I could still make out the baggage check and security desks. I see a sign for the toilets and run that way, hoping that I'll find Vanessa. There are still crowds of people inside trying to run towards the exits. I try and avoid them as much as I can, but they're so caught up in trying to escape the chaos that they seem oblivious to everyone else around them. I pause to catch my breath and look around, trying to see if Vanessa is anywhere. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Laura catching up with me, her red coat billowing around her as she runs. All of a sudden, I see a woman running towards the exits, passing through her, then right through me. What the fuck?
Don't panic. It's okay. Wherever your body is right now, you're not conscious. You just can't interact with other people.
What does she mean, I'm not conscious? Where the hell did Laura come from? Where is Vanessa? Why can't I see anything through all this dust? Why can't I breathe? Oh my god, why can't I breathe? I can't...
Whoa. Hey dude, it's okay. Now slowly, tell me everything. Who are you? What do you know?
My name is Kyle. I'm a personal trainer from Melbourne. I was coming to the airport for a getaway to Sri Lanka with my girlfriend Vanessa when the firefighters attacked. I was thrown to the ground by the explosion, and when I woke up, I could see you. You're Laura. You told me you were in a car crash, and you told me I'm not conscious.
That's good. Your body must be somewhere outside. But Vanessa is somewhere in here. She needs our help.
Vanessa? Where is she? I have to find her. Nothing else matters right now. She was heading to the toilets right before all this happened. Maybe let's start there.
Evacuate as directed. Evacuate as directed.
I think I see her over there.
I look over to where she was pointing and spotted Vanessa. A wave of relief washes over me. While everyone else is running around in blind panic, she's weaving between the security desks with an almost serene look on her face. Despite the situation, I'm kind of proud of her for being so calm and collected. Vanessa suddenly crouches down behind a desk. Laura and I run over to where she's taken cover and find her rummaging through its drawers. She pulls out a pair of scissors, a cigarette lighter, a can of deodorant, and a bottle of water. She takes a swig from the water and collects her breath before placing all the items from the drawer in her bag. We need to help her. Is there any way for us to communicate with her?
I've been like this for 3 weeks now. Don't you think that if I could communicate with someone, I would have done so by now? You're the first person who's even noticed me in 3 weeks.
Okay, so what can we do?
Well, I don't have it all figured out just yet. But as far as I can tell, we can't interact with people or animals at all. I mean, you saw that lady passing through us before. And the same goes for whatever objects people are holding. But we can touch things that aren't connected to a person or an animal. You know, like inanimate objects.
Right, so we're pretty much invisible. Great.
Well, on the plus side, we don't get hungry or tired.
She was right. All this running through the airport, it was coming down around us. I wasn't even sweaty or covered in dust. I wasn't even thirsty. And normally after a cardio session, I would be super hungry and need to smash a couple of burgers. The negative calorie ones, of course. I look back to Vanessa. She's pulled out her phone, and as she lifts it towards her ear, I can feel my pocket start to vibrate. Hang on. My phone's going off.
You must have had it on you when you got knocked out. Answer it.
If I could talk to her through the phone, then maybe things wouldn't be so bad. Vanessa?
Kyle?
Vanessa, I'm here.
Kyle?
I'm here, Vanessa. I can hear you.
Kyle, I can't hear you.
Vanessa, please, I'm here. Vanessa hangs up the phone and immediately calls back.
Bad connection.
Vanessa,
Kyle,
can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Vanessa is starting to tear up.
Kyle, I can't hear you. But I need to know that you're safe.
I am safe. Vanessa, I'm with Laura.
I know I've been distant lately, but thanks for sticking by me.
I take the phone away from my ear. There's no point continuing to yell into it. She clearly can't hear me. I kneel down to be face to face with Vanessa. It's okay. I'll always be here for you.
I don't know why I can't hear you, but okay, let's meet up at the car. I'll message you.
All I want to do is reach out and hold her. I try, but I just pass through her. I don't even feel a tingle. Vanessa! I turn to Vanessa. I know she can't hear me, but I've got to try and help her. Vanessa! Vanessa, you've got to move, okay? You've got to get out of this building before it comes down around you. But Vanessa isn't moving. I feel a hand on my shoulder and Laura crouches down beside me.
Vanessa, you have to get out of here. You have to get a move on now.
Laura reaches out her hand, except she doesn't pass through Vanessa like I did. Laura's hand is sitting on top of Vanessa's, and Laura and I stare at each other in shock.
I think she can feel me.
Vanessa's staring at where Laura's hand is resting on top of hers. Laura repositions herself and puts her hands on Vanessa's shoulders.
Vanessa, you have to move now.
What the hell?
Vanessa has a bewildered look on her face. She shakes her shoulders and Laura lets go.
Come on, Vanessa, do it for me.
Vanessa pauses for a few seconds, her brow furrowed. The explosions are getting closer. and the sound is enough to get her moving. Vanessa puts her bag over her shoulder and starts to make her way towards the nearest door. We follow closely behind.
What the hell was that, Laura? She could feel you.
Look, mate, I have as little a clue about why that happened as you do, but let's be thankful that it did.
As Vanessa leads us outside, she takes out her phone again. I let it go to voicemail. There's no point picking it up. Vanessa half walks, half runs towards where we parked.
Hey, I don't know why I can't get hold of you, but I'm heading towards the car. Meet me there, yeah?
If only she knew I was right next to her. As she finishes the call, she looks around and then stops dead in her tracks.
What's she looking at?
I shrug in response. But then I see what she spotted. Vanessa starts running and we run after her.
Kyle!
Vanessa slows her run. She throws her bag off her shoulders, crouches down next to my unconscious body and starts sobbing.
Oh, God!
I could see the gash on the side of my head, and suddenly it all makes sense.
Ah, shit.
Today's chapter was written by Lian Meacco, a creative from Melbourne who's also dabbled in writing Doctor Who fanfiction. Lian likes reading young adult fiction with a sci-fi or a fantasy twist. Her favourite books are Everyday by David Levithan, the Illuminae series, and the His Dark Materials trilogy. In her spare time, Lian enjoys dancing and designing app prototypes for obscure needs. She's also an incredible baker, and you can see her mouth-watering creations by following her on Instagram at Lian Bakes Things. So who knows what's going to happen next? Well, we certainly don't, but I'm just as excited as you are to see where the next writer will take us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at The Story Symphony to stay up to date with all the latest news and goss, and to let us know what you think about the story so far. Kyle was voiced by actor and comedian Angus Brown, who you can find on Twitter and Instagram at Gus Brown or on Facebook at Angus Brown Comedy. Laura was voiced by actor Tess McKaige, who you can find on Instagram at Tess McKaige. Vanessa was voiced by actor Maddy Tyers, who you can find on Instagram and Twitter at Maddy Tyers. And of course, thanks once again to Lian, who is also the superstar behind the artwork for the Story Symphony. Until next time.